biggest crime in the black community is not that we waste money. The biggest crime is that we waste time. Time means that if I have a baby, I talked to a guy who was young. He was 22, and actually I'm going to meet with him soon. LeVar is 22 years old. He's a NASCAR driver, and he's a great guy. We've been sponsoring LeVar. We've been giving him money to help him, and he just made a big announcement. So anyway, we were talking about money, and I said, look, first thing I need you to understand before we sit down and talk about wealth in our meeting is I need you to realize what you're doing this for. You're not doing this so you can have a bunch of money in a year or 2 years. I said, and you're not even doing this so you can have money when you're older, when you're 40 or 50 years old. I said, another reason you're doing this is because I said, are you going to have kids? He said, yeah. I said, let's say you have a child in 10 years. I said, well, in 30 years, your daughter is going to be 20 years old. That means you got 40 years to build wealth for that little girl. You got 40 years to protect her as her father. You got 40 years. That's an eternity. It's very easy for anyone to become a millionaire by investing consistently for 40 years. If I was to take the money you spent on rent or car notes over the last 20 or 30 years, and that same amount had been put in a stock market account on your behalf, you would be so rich that you'd be sleeping in right now. So you got to have that long-term vision. The longer your vision, the easier it is to conquer the world. I mean, even small amounts of investing every single month or week or whatever, the same way you pay bills, because you're already doing it. You're already building wealth through an annuity. An annuity is a consistent set of payments that are done every month. So when you're paying that annuity, when you're paying that car note every month, $500, $600, $700, whatever, they're putting that money in a stock portfolio. And where I become just the person that the most dangerous thing I've ever said is I've just said to black people, make yourself rich while you're making everybody else rich. Like, love yourself as much as you love everybody else. I'll show you where I put my money for my niece and nephew and grandkids and everything, and we'll set it up. And then you set it and you forget it. You don't have to go in there and look at it every day. You just let it grow. It's called the Ten Commandments of Black Economic Power. That really culture is really what breeds economics, and the culture has to be a healthy culture. So last night when Tiana Von Johnson and my wife were speaking at the Real Table Talk event, um, she kept talking about healing and doing the work and things like that. And I said, yeah, I said if everybody committed to healing, the community would be much, much better. Like healing will do everything for you. You know, some of the things you went through, you didn't deserve to go through, and they may have created unhealthy coping mechanisms or issues that create a lack of trust. And one thing you'll learn if you don't understand economics is that economic systems can't grow when people don't trust each other. But if everybody's afraid of being traumatized by everyone else in their ecosystem, when your own team, when you're afraid of your own teammates, when black men are afraid of black women and black women are afraid of black men and black men are afraid of each other and black women can't are competing with each other, you can't grow an economic ecosystem because economic ecosystems are built on reciprocity. They're built on trust. When investors put money into the stock market, they have to trust that nothing bad is going to happen, that the company's not going to run off with their investment. The resilience of wealth building means you sometimes you're going to get punched in the face, but you're ready, you're in it for the fight. And next thing you know, that kid, the KID model, that kid will become a successful adult, and that's where generational wealth comes from.